Hello, my name is Mark Tanzig. I'm the Horticulture Extension Agent at the UF IFAS Extension Office in Leon County. In this video, we're going to go over irrigation. So we want you to be able to water your plants, but still save water as much as possible. We're going to go over how to do a micro drip system. We're going to go over how to calibrate your system and how often you should run your system to best save water.
Providing your yard with the correct amount of water is key to the health and vigor of your yard. Too much water is not only expensive, but it also wastes clean water and harbors disease and fungi, which can lead to plant death. Too little water causes wilting, improper growth and development, and in some cases, also plant death. Finding your yard's perfect amount is key to saving clean water, saving money, and ensuring your plants stay healthy. Proper irrigation also helps with Principle 8, reducing stormwater runoff, and Principle 9, protecting the waterfront. Using only the irrigation you need helps reduce runoff into our local water bodies. When planning the layout of your yard, make sure to utilize Principle 1, right plant, right place, in order to minimize maintenance. Group plants together that have similar light and watering needs to make sure that they are in suitable areas in your yard to meet these requirements with little to no inputs. After assessing the watering needs of the plants in your yard, you will now need to set up your irrigation system. For the most accurate and least wasteful watering, micro-irrigation systems are recommended.
So right now we're going to discuss how to set up your micro drip system to a regular old spigot. So you need a couple parts and pieces that are going to come usually in a kit with your micro drip setup. The first thing you're going to want to do is have a backflow preventer. The reason for this should really be on all your spigots. The reason for this is to keep potentially contaminated water from, say, a hose or your irrigation system from going back into your main potable water source. This is just a simple little piece that screws onto your spigot. Now when you turn your spigot on and off with a backflow preventer, a little bit of water is going to squirt out, but that's normal, that's what happens. Next up, we're actually going to put a Y on this end piece right here, so that when you have a timer for your micro drip system, you still have access to a hose to water the garden or do whatever you need otherwise. So we're going to put a Y on here. All right, next up is going to be our timer that we're going to use. This is kind of a standard timer. This is a 1-zone timer. You can get 2-zone timers, 4-zone timers, but the typical one most folks are be using will be a 1-zone system. That just simply screws onto one of the parts of the Y. Now next is pretty important. This is a pressure reducer. So micro drip systems run on low pressure, much lower than the pressure that comes out of your spigot. So one of really important piece you need is a pressure reducer. Again, it comes along with a kit. You're gonna put that on, and that makes sure that once you get your system all put together, it just doesn't all like bust apart. Next, now we're ready. Now we're getting to the, to the normal main line that's gonna be running through your garden. You have this special piece right here that allows, that ties to a normal 3/4 inch spigot end. And it also has a piece here that you're going to then run your flexible main line into. So that just is going to get screwed on here to the end of your pressure reducer. And what we'll do next is we will show you, now that you have this main line running through the garden, how do you go and put in different emitters for your various plants in the landscape. Okay, now we're going to talk about how to install the emitters on your main line in the garden. So we have our main line that's attached to the timer. It's running through the garden. We can have different options for emitters that we can put on this main line. The first one and the most simplest is called a dripper. And this is good for shrubs that have been in the ground for a while that you're just trying to continue to stay established. They just drip a small amount over that time period. We have these little stakes and emitters, a little spray jet type of deal. This is good for fruit trees, again, shrubs. can spray. They have an adjustable little top, so they can spray from just a small diameter out to a larger, maybe up to maybe 3 feet wide. And then this is the one we use a lot in our garden, where we use, it's a spray jet emitter. Again, it's got a little valve to control the pressure. There's different heads, so there's going to be a 270, there's going to be a 180, there's going to be a 90-degree head, depending on the situation you're putting it. And this one allows you to get up a little bit above the foliage, so for like a vegetable garden, a perennial bed, it works really well. This little line here we call spaghetti line, and this is what you end up moving from the main line to your emitter for things like this or the emitters. Sometimes the drippers, you might move it with spaghetti line from the main line and kind of run it through the course over to the shrub. What you're going to need to install this is this tool right here, a hole puncher. So we're going to attach this spray jet emitter to the main line. So we're just going to stick this in the ground for now. And to do this, you're going to use your hole punch. You're going to pop a hole into the main line, and a good tip is that you let the main line stay flat on the ground, and you add your spaghetti so that it also lays flat on the ground. So don't go into the top of the main line, kind of come into the side. You're simply just going to find the spot, take your hole punch, move it around, and it'll pop right in there. Take it out. Your emitters typically come with these little barbs. You're just going to take the barb and snap it right in. And again, these are low pressure systems, so there's no glues, there's no clamps. It seems like it's kind of loose on there, but it does work under these low pressure systems. And there shouldn't be any leaks. And now you're set to stick the emitter where you want it to go. Say it's over here, and then you can turn the system on and adjust the pressure as you need to. Okay, so once you've laid out your main line throughout the landscape where you want it, it's a good idea to maybe let it sit for a while, let it kind of unravel. It usually comes in a big roll. But once you have it set where you want it, an important piece that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to cap the end. Because otherwise the end is open, the water comes on, it's all going to come out of here. So use this good little tool called the terminator. You just slide it up, and you're just going to kink the end of the tube like you would a hose, and slide the terminator back over the top.
Once your system has been implemented, it is now time to calibrate it to your yard's needs. The ideal amount of irrigation is between 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch per 15 minutes. To calibrate this, start by placing rain gauges or another type of container that can collect water near the areas that will need irrigation. Run your system for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, collect your rain gauge or containers to see how much water was caught. Change the amount of run time to change the output of water. Repeat this process until the amount of water you collect is within the ideal range. Make sure to pay attention to your area's water management restrictions in order to make your irrigation schedule. Try to water your yard in the morning to reduce evaporative losses that happen during the midday and afternoon. Do not irrigate if it has rained in the past 24 hours or is scheduled to rain in the next 24 hours. Having an automatic shutoff sensor for rain is a great addition to your system. Regularly check your system to make sure the water being emitted is still going to places of need, rather than on an established tree or sidewalk. Remember to utilize other Florida-friendly landscaping principles such as Principle 8, storing runoff in rain barrels to use later, and mulching to reduce evaporative losses and keep the soil moist for longer. For more information on irrigation systems and calibration, please visit the links in the caption. For more information on the Florida-friendly landscaping principles, please visit the link also in the caption below. If you have any more questions, please feel free to contact Leon County's Commercial and Residential Horticultural Extension Agent or the Master Gardener volunteers at these emails.
Okay, well, thank you for watching this video. We hope you learned something about irrigation systems and how you can save Florida's precious water resources.